Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you a Gradle plugin I created with my friend Andrea Paternesi. This plugin allows you to monitor a Gradle catalog more easily and also to auto-update all of its dependencies. As you can see, the plugin is named Gradle Catalog Dependencies Monitor plugin, and we're not going to explain everything in depth about Gradle Catalog plugins, but I can show you a quick example which is pretty self-explanatory. Inside this folder we have a build Gradle file. We can find all of our plugins, all of our dependencies, and they are in this format, and they are not in the normal Gradle format, group, name, version. But this is normal because we are using a Gradle catalog. I used a Gradle catalog which is located here under the Gradle folder, and it's named libs version toml file. We can take a look at our catalog. We have all our libraries versions and plugin versions, and then we have all our libraries and all our plugins which are used here. So for example, for OpenCSV we have the OpenCSV version, that's this one, and the version is used here by this library. So now that we have seen how this project is set up, we can take a look at our plugin. Here you can add some default configuration. The first one is the name of your catalog, that's libs. Then we are going to see all these other properties, configurations, but before, let's take a look at the tasks of this plugin. Under tasks, catalog monitor, we can find all the tasks. The most important task is generateReport. We can run it, and this report will tell you if all our dependencies are updated or not. Okay, so the report is being generated, and we can find an HTML report and a JSON report into our build folder, and then catalog dependencies monitor, and here we have this report. We can open it with our browser or maybe with IntelliJ, expand this one, and as you can see, all of our dependencies are updated, all updated. We can also scroll down or just click here to check the plugins, and also the plugins are all updated. So let's close this report. Let's go back to our catalog, and now just pretend that we have all the versions. For example, I can change the SQLite version and using an older one. Okay, now I've changed the SQLite version, which is used just here by SQLite JDBC library. Let's change also the JJWT version to an older one, 0.12. This is used by 3 of our libraries, JJWT API, implementation, and Jackson. So in this situation, we are pretending to have 3 plus 1 more versions that are old for our libraries, and just changed also for our plugins this version to an older one. So now that we have some dependencies that are not updated, we can regenerate our report as before, but this time we should find some dependencies to update. Let's check. Just open the browser again, and as you can see, we can find all the outdated versions. So with this plugin and with this report, you can easily see all the outdated dependencies in your Gradle catalog. you can see that you're using the 0.12 version and there is out the 0.13 version. Same thing here, we are using an old version. And going down, we can find also an outdated plugin. So now we have two choices. We can, of course, going here to our catalog and update it manually, all these dependencies, or we have a better choice, that's this one, to use the update dependencies in TomlCatalog. So by running this task, the plugin will check for every version, for every library. Under the hood, of course, it uses the generateReport, and it will update everything. Now it will be easy to see because we have this blue line, and after running it should disappear and we should see the newer version 3.51 and 0.13. Let's check. Okay, just wait. And as you can see, everything is up to date now. Okay, so now if we generate again the report and check again, everything is returned as before, updated. So it's very simple to keep the catalog updated. So now that we have seen all the main tasks, just check also these other two tasks. Let's click this one, print catalog content. With this one you can take a look at all the content of the catalog, and this can be useful sometimes. With this one instead, we can print all these dependencies using the standard notation. Just run it, and as you can see, all the dependencies are expressed with the standard notation, so with name, group and version. Wherever possible, sometimes the version is not present, but this is not a problem. So it's very simple to see that, for example, mapstruct, this one is this one, and is using mapstruct 1.6.3 without need to check into the catalog. Okay, let's take a look at the remaining configurations available, which are excluded libraries and excluded plugins. They are pretty much the same, but one is an exclusion for libraries and one for plugins. So we can exclude a library like this, and in this way the monitor plugin won't tell us if this dependency is outdated. Okay, it will skip it. Same thing for plugins if you need. And finally, we have two filters, one for libraries and one for plugins. And this can be very useful because sometimes the catalog without this one can give us false positives. Because sometimes the catalog, if we don't use these filters, will show that our version is outdated. For example, let's suppose that we are using, I don't know, let's see, mapstruct processor 1.6.3, okay, and let's suppose that in Maven exists 1.6, I don't know, .4, alpha, or beta, or release candidate 1, or I don't know, milestone 2. Obviously this will be considered by the plugin an updated version because it is an updated version, but we maybe don't want to consider these particular versions, but we just want plain stable versions. And so this is the way to filter out all the unwanted versions. Okay, so with these filters, because we have the M, because this one contains an M, so it doesn't matter if it's M2, M1 or M1 or M1, this will be filtered out. And same thing for release candidates, betas, alphas. And so in our report everything will be alright, and 1.6.3 will be shown to us as the last available version. Okay, I think it's all. And of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. So thanks to everybody and have a nice day. Bye.